Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. And I'm just looking here at the chat. And so Joe Potter is asking, did the music stop? Hasn't stopped, but it is slowing. And we got a problem. We got a big problem here. And look, this is the situation. We're in a crisis of proportions that cannot easily be measured. In fact, they cannot be. A worldwide debt crisis on an epic scale. The only solution is to pile more debt on it. I mean, we have a system that is absolutely 100% debt saturated. But in other words, to keep it functioning, more debt must be poured on top of the already debt saturated maximum saturation moment. We've way past the point of no return. It cannot be fixed. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to address it. All we're getting is puppet one and puppet two selling you the Federal Reserve's plan that we need more debt. They understand. Believe me, I have a clear understanding. I understand that Trump went to Wharton Business School, has to know what's going on. The other one over there, I don't think so. But she's been brought up to speed. That's why she's adopted Trump's plan of destroying the economy, which they're both going to do. In other words, they have to do that to force the market higher, more debt burden on everyone. And that's how it's going to play out. The selection don't matter. We got destroyer here and destroyer there. Whatever they're promising you about jobs coming back here, our economy's fantastic, which we're going to talk about in a moment. These are all lies, Babylon lies. Manufacturing, we've got some news on manufacturing today. Bring it all back, as I've been telling you. Every single factory that exists on this planet, bring them all back here. They'll all disappear. No one wants our products anymore. No one wants our dollar. We all understand what's going on here with the BRICS summit. They're coming up with a way to streamline a new system. People, come on, man, it's in your face. What's going to happen? And it's going to, as the dollar continues to lose its status around the world. All those extra bills aren't going to be needed. Where are they going? They're coming back here like we're seeing now. That's the true reason why we're getting inflation now again. The deceptions, the distractions, no one's pointing their finger at the Fed. It's Trump's fault because he borrowed more into existence or helped the Fed than any other president in the history of the United States, going back to George Washington. Oh, no, it's Biden's fault because it's happening now. The people that are saying that are frankly retarded. They have no idea how it works, how there's a lag effect, all the cash that's been created out of thin air, making its way through the economy. Now it's rearing its ugly head. I've only said this would happen from 10 years ago. It's a deception on a magnificent scale. But there's no one to hold to account. And we lose because, again, there's no one here other than you and I who understand what the solution is. Okay, the solution is obviously a return to a constitutional money system, which we're not going to get. We may become the crypto capital of the world, which is... We don't need that right now. Okay, we do not need to be the crypto capital of the world. We don't need anything that they're telling us right now, and it's all a lie. When they move their mouth, when Kamala moves her mouth, when Trump moves his mouth, when either of them take a breath, it's a lie. Lie. It's all it is. And I think we're pretty much up to speed. So let's talk about this. So this is what happened today in the market. Pretty much red across the board. The Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, gold, silver, crude, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, red across the board. Not so much in the debt market. Now let me show you what this looks like, okay? Going back to the MMRI. You see this? This is bad. This is not good. Now, there's a poll going on here. I really want you guys and girls to participate. 62% of you believe the Fed will step in. They certainly might step in. We'll see where this goes. It will be the moment that happens, it will be reflected here. I Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. But we're so close to this selection that I told you all bets are off. We'll see. We will see what happens here. Look, how do they fix this? We're already in a debt-saturated system by adding more debt to it, like pouring water onto a drowning person. It's not going to save us at all. Okay, this it's so revolting to me, people, that I can't even come up with the correct words. Why we have two non-human entities. Trump is not a human being. Kamala is not a human being because they have not one single human quality. They can't tell you the truth, neither one of them. What they want you to believe is we can fix the system by piling more debt onto it, which is the exact mechanism that's destroying us all. You understand? There's something much uglier and darker going on here. We are being led to our own destruction, or we're leading ourselves now to our own destruction. Let me say something else. In times of economic desperation, and that's what we're in here, a worldwide phenomenon, world leaders emerge that invariably lead tens of millions of people to their death. You don't believe me? Maybe you should look into history just a little bit here. The grand plan is, in my opinion, and I'm not ashamed to say it because I've been telling you this for the longest time, they want to reduce the population of this world by a very large percentage. It looks like we're getting there. Now, with regard to this nonsense we're hearing about with regard to tariffs, and I know a lot of you support Trump's tariffs, okay? Ain't going to work, just like last time. Most of them are in place already, but we're hearing from more and more nations that are promising retaliatory tariffs, trade war, real war. Let me explain this to you in case you don't know, because you believe America we're on top of the world. We're the economic engine, for which we are not. It is now Asia, the economic engine of the world. We cannot win a trade war. And anyone that's telling you differently, obviously is lying to you. It should make sense to you that we're done here. No one wants our dollar. No one wants our products anymore. The world has turned their back on what is the laughing stock of the world at this point here. And the world knows it too. Anyway, let's move forward. And I want to ask a few questions as we go through this. So again, we're being told how strong our economy is, how great we're doing. Even the Federal Reserve itself, what did Powell say at the last FOMC meeting? Our economy is growing. We're doing well. Well, how did this happen then? Today, the Fed's beige book on economic activity. Headline, Fed beige book continues to point to sluggish economy. Let us move forward here. 9 out of 12 districts report flat or declining activity. Really? Who knew that? So the Federal Reserve's latest beige book survey of conditions across the country continue to paint a weak picture. Imagine my shock. Imagine your shock with 9 out of 12 regional district banks reporting flat or declining activity. Most districts reported declining manufacturing, a sector that is dying. As I've been saying, Trump's plan, bring all the manufacturing back. Watch what happens. They're going to go away. Maybe it wants to stop manufacturing around the world because you bring back factories here in the United States. Our factories don't get orders as it is. It's over. You want to rebuild the economy? Do the polar opposite of what Trump is saying. Polar opposite of what Kamala is saying because they're selling you the Fed's plan. Where's the accountability? How many of you that support Trump have actually called him out on this? How many of you that support Kamala have called her out on this? How about 0? Not one of you have done that. Anyway, most economists, this is insane. Listen to where it goes. So most districts reported declining manufacturing activity. Most economists, real rocket scientists here, continue to expect that the Federal Reserve will cut rates 0.25 percentage point at their next meeting. So what are they saying to you? Let's devalue the currency even more. Let's artificially suppress rates. That's going to help us because it's worked so good so far. People, we have historically low rates right now and a currency that's being destroyed. So why are people not taking to the streets when they see something like this? Where's the accountability? You know where? It's nowhere because people are brain dead. into leading themselves to their own demise. And they think that more debt is going to fix this problem. It sure may put a Band-Aid on it. How about this for economic news today? Existing home sales sink to a 14-year low. This is how strong our economy is. How about this one? This is a joke, almost. No, it is a joke. How many of you even know that there is this is insanity on a grand scale. A committee for responsible federal budget, a bipartisan committee for a responsible federal budget. Really? We don't even have a budget. They keep kicking the can down the road. A U.S. fiscal crisis would happen incredibly quickly. Who's been telling you that? It's going to take everyone by surprise. We're in a crisis right now. But what are they doing? Fueling it with more debt. We're saturated, but let's add more debt to it. And then more on top of that. And it's going to fix everything. We're being destroyed. We're being exterminated. Canelo, thank you. Yes, that's the truth. I don't want you to focus. This is a good thing here. Canelo, I'm glad you brought that up. It's not so much the number. It's how fast. Look at this spike. That's what the market is getting rattled over. If we level off here, if the Fed jumps in and says, you know what, we're going to start buying more debt because that's what we want to do anyway, and we start to see this level off, the Fed will also buy large cap stocks. They have a trading desk. It's called, don't take my word for a thing, okay? They have a trading desk which they use to prop up the market. It's called the plunge protection team. It's a real thing. It's not a tin hat foil thing. It's real. The Fed will prop up the market. They'll buy more debt, maybe level this off, and then they'll buy large cap stocks. Unless they're ready to allow this to implode, we are so close to what I've been saying for many, many weeks. All bets are off. All bets are off. Sound familiar to you? I told you. It's the selection, all bets are off. But this is the real issue. It's not so much this. Risk, reward, you all know that. I want you to follow the trajectory of, look, as this went down, and it wasn't rapid, but it was going down higher, record high, record high, record high, record high. All of a sudden, this happens. Market doesn't know what to do. Standstill, sell off today. Nothing dramatic. But anyway, look, let's go back. We are already in a fiscal crisis of a magnitude that we've never seen before, a debt crisis, a full-blown debt crisis, but no one is telling you that. Have you heard that out of Trump's mouth? Have you heard that out of Kamala's mouth? Or have you heard them say they're going to spend, and tariffs are going to pay for everything? Like it was, Trump's tariffs was supposed to pay off the debt in 2 years last time. What we got was another nearly $9 trillion worth of debt. Did you see what happened to the trade deficit? That was supposed to contract too because of tariffs. How did that work out? Didn't, huh? Make it up, man. But people are buying it, hook, line, and sinker, because they don't have one functioning brain cell. They don't think what happened last time. And why does the market want Trump? Because he's the guy who called the Fed boneheads because they wouldn't go negative with rates, meaning you would have to pay the bank. And the joke would be on you. Really would. Anyway, we're in a full-blown crisis. No one's here to fix it. A constitutional money system would fix it. Higher rates would actually work as well with a much stronger currency. But we're not going to get that because we got two puppets here, two working for the Fed. How about this one? The IMF warns again. Global public debt will hit 100 trillion by year end. This is face value. This is face value. First of all, this number is not right. I think we can all agree on that. But you have to add in the derivatives that are both on both sides of this. It's in the quadrillions, and it's obviously a nightmare situation. Okay, now, something else. I want you to consider this. I may not be right all the time, and I was certainly wrong about this. I did not believe this would happen prior to the selection that's coming up. I said, no, it's going to go down. That was my best case scenario. I got that wrong. But if you recall, over 2 years ago, I was the first guy to say there's a problem here with the smaller and regional banks. I said no loans, no deposits, no deals. We were going to have a problem. What happened? We watched the crisis occur over there, a few failures. Then, of course, they got propped up. We had the larger banks buy their assets for pennies on the dollar. This is going to happen. So bank regulators are warning that there are still banks prone to runs. Let me say this again for the gazillionth time. Get your cash out of any commercial bank. You understand? Credit unions are safer. I always get my words twisted. They are not safe. They are safer because they don't operate in the same way. These are nonprofit organizations that don't take risk. They're not involved at all in the derivative market. Take your cash out tomorrow of any commercial bank, especially one of these small or regional institutions that more than likely, we're not even allowed to know which banks are failing. Do you know that? It's privileged information, meaning some people are allowed to know. You could have all your cash in there. You may pay your bills, whatever, out of your account over there, could close tomorrow, and you're not allowed to know. The FDIC has a list of banks which are failing and slated to fail. Privileged, meaning, again, some are allowed to know, you're not. Take the initiative. Get your cash out, put it into a credit union. We are going to see waves of failures as a consolidation of the system is taking place. That's all this is. The smaller institutions are going to be set up to fail, as well as a big Wall Street institution. And I still say it's going to be Bank of America. Assets are going to be bought for pennies on the dollar from the smaller institutions and bought up by the larger ones. The larger institutions, the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley's probably, these banks are more than likely going to be okay. All right. They have a main line to the Fed, but the Fed needs a scapegoat. They have to say, oh, don't worry. We let this institution fail. Joe, thank you. Man, my nose is so itchy. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. Anyway, now I want to bring your attention to one more thing. Many of you have heard of the Buffett indicator. The Buffett indicator basically, well, let me just show this to you. The Buffett indicator. The Buffett indicator or Buffett ratio, however you want to look at it, takes the total value of the stock market and then divides that by gross domestic product. Now, Buffett here, this Buffett indicator is using fabricated numbers when it comes to GDP. We're negative in the GDP. So, but you can't know that either. Government spending, obviously, is calculated here. If you strip that out, we're negative. According to the Buffett indicator, with their own fabricated numbers, the market is strongly overvalued. It gets worse than that. Let me read this to you. The current ratio of 209% with regard to the Buffett indicator is approximately 67.57 or 2.2 standard deviations above the historical trend line. Now, for those of you that understand mathematics just a little bit here, when you have a standard deviation above 2%, it's unusual. You don't generally see a standard deviation above 2, right? 2.2, 2.2. According to the Buffett indicator. But if you factor in the fact that the GDP numbers that they want us to believe are real or not, we're over 3. So what does that tell you and me? It tells us that this thing is so grossly out of control. There's no price discovery, like I've been telling you for 10,000 freaking years. The market is an illusion. Everything is an illusion. This illusion is going to turn into a nightmare. Why? Because the debt market is a time bomb waiting to, I've told you this from years ago. And what have they done? Piled more debt onto it. Piled more debt onto it, piled more debt onto it, more onto that, making the ferocity of the explosion, or implosion of the debt market even that more dramatic. And the people around this world are not going to know what hit them. They're not going to know what hit them. And people need to hold themselves to account as well. No one's holding Trump to account for his lies. No one's holding Kamala account for her lies. The Federal Reserve telling us out of their own mouth how strong we are. Our economy is booming and everything freaking nuts. They've been lying to us, but their own beige book says, no, it's all been a lie. Who's going to hold them to account? Are they going to be called before some kind of a congressional committee? Is the Fed going to be called out for this by Donald Trump or by Kamala? No. Why? Because they are both agents of the Federal Reserve. Once you get hip to all these people, your whole life is going to turn around, man. Till then, you're going to be left in the dark, not knowing what's happening to you or why. I hope you guys and girls are really seeing what's happening here. With regard to the debt market action that we're seeing here in the MMRI, this is definitely going from bad to worse. The only question is, are they going to pile on more debt to stabilize this? We have what? I don't even know, 8 or 9 trading days, something like that, before the presidential selection, and then all bets are off. All bets are off, people. You know that. Just be ready for what I've been warning about for 10 years, okay, over that we're marching towards a moment in time that people are not going to believe moving forward. A whole new set of rules, a whole new paradigm, a blockchain-based tokenized system, a world population which is probably going to be cut in half from where we are now on the back of the bursting of this time bomb of a debt market, which is being fueled bigger and bigger and bigger. And we have nobody here. Nobody. All we got is deception, distraction, lies, falsehoods across the board. Welcome to Babylon, because that's where you are. Are we on the same page? I really hope we are. So we got 900 and almost 1,000 votes here so far with regard to the question was, the debt market is a time bomb. I think we're on the same page. In your opinion, is it about to go off, or is the Fed going to step in? It looks like more than half of you, 61% of you, believe the Fed's going to pile more debt onto the system. And you may be right, but we have to also understand there's going to be a reckoning. When they choose. Now, let me say something else real quick. We got a few days left in this month, all right? If in fact we get a crash, a market, if this market peels off 2,000-3,000 tomorrow, 2,000-3,000 the next day, 2,000-3,000, whatever it does, it's obviously going to be extremely good for Trump to gain this selection, in my view. But maybe I could be wrong there too. It bothers me a lot that I got this wrong. I'll be honest with you. I did not see that. So, and I work my hardest. I really, really do, to try to bring all of you the best possible actionable information. I'm just a human being here trying to play this game of incomplete information. It ain't easy. Go long funeral stocks. Wow. Yeah, maybe, man. Look, there's no other way to put this, people. All of us around the world are under attack by the political system, politics, the game that's being played on us, central banks who are the root cause of every single problem that we're seeing, a world awash in debt, the time bomb of the debt market here, this artificial environment across the board, the lies, the deceptions, the distractions coming out of politicians' mouth, the promises of things that will never happen, like paying the debt off in 2 years and whatever it might be. When you hear something like that, you got to laugh. If we didn't learn anything, look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they put there. You may think it does, and that's what they've convinced you of, because that's all they do. You got this salesperson over here and this salesperson over here. Their job is to point at something, make you afraid of it, and then tell you, I'm the person to fix it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hallelujah. It's people are so easily manipulated. They don't have a brain that functions anymore. Why do you think the education system is the way that it is right now? Why do you think people have disconnected themselves from any kind of reality? They can't cope. But again, where's the accountability? Nowhere. It's incredible. War is good business. Unfortunately, you hit the nail on the head, V-Dog. War used to be the number one way to pull borrowed cash into the now. Then it became scamdemics. 3.6 trillion with the scamdemic alone when Trump was over there sitting behind the Resolute desk. War now has fallen secondary to scamdemics. And they're not done. They're not done with all that stuff, man. Warp speed, whatever the freak they want to do at us. We're a means to an end, people. And I as I sit here, it pains me to say many of us are not going to survive this. From a financial standpoint, we couldn't be better off, you and me, all right? But that does not mean that what is going to occur pandemonium in the streets around this world. A global population brought to its knees to beg for a solution. That's what they're going to get. They're leading us down a very dangerous, destructive pathway. Clever Custom Performance, thank you. Are we seeing things pretty much the same way, people? And if I am wrong on any of this, I welcome your comments. Greg, you got it wrong because of this. Greg, no, because of that. This is our thing here. As I always tell you a million times, it's not me. You know, I'm kind of like the dude here that kind of brings it together, but it's all you guys. You understand? I'm not certain, Reinhard, that BRICS is all noise. The world doesn't want the dollar. They're looking for an alternative. There's going to be a lot of talk about the BRICS being all noise. I don't think it's all noise. I think they are deadly serious on sidestepping the dollar, which means more war. They'll sell it to you however way they'll sell it to you. Even an anti-war president, okay, will be turned into a war president if by some chance an event would occur, let's say on American soil, which wipes out 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people. You'll see. Nothing is out of their realm here. Again, they will splatter our blood, our guts, our hopes, our dreams, our family, our children, our mothers, our fathers, all over this earth to keep the system of control going here. And in case you need a wake-up call here, the enforcement arm of the Federal Reserve is the United States Armed Forces, including its nuclear arsenal, and they will point that in or out. You understand? To keep this system going. I really do hope you guys are getting something out of this here. And anyway, Jody Wells, thank you. Clemente, thank you as well too. Look, I covered a lot of stuff here. With this thing here, look, just if you want to use Buffett's numbers, the market is strongly overvalued. Again, according to his numbers, Joseph, thank you. We are 2.2 standard deviations away from the mean. That's unusual for you mathematicians out here, or even those of you who have a little knowledge of standard deviation or anything like that. We're way, 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 way worse than that. Let's see what happens with this, people. Let's see where that goes. Bank runs. You have no idea what's coming. The banking system operates in a perpetual vacuum. It's a black hole. It's insolvent. And we are forced to participate in it. Take action, as I said. Credit unions are safer. Fed's beige book, in our face, they're lying to us. Right here says what you and I already know, but they're not even telling us the truth at all. Okay, they're saying here, it's sluggish. We have no economy. It's over. And it's not just here in the United States. For those of you that have been put in a little box and believe that it's so-and-so's fault, whoever. This is a global phenomenon. It's central banks, and no one is pointing their finger at it. Crisis on a massive scale. Debt crisis on a scale you can't possibly imagine. And the economy keeps going down the toilet. It's over, man. Can't be repaired, can't be fixed. Or they're going to try to prop it up with more debt. And that just means that you and I and the people of this world are going to be forced to deal with it. While the 1% and 2%ers laugh their rear ends at all of us. The 1% and 2%ers get to laugh. People like Elon Musk get to laugh their ass off and throw little flakes at people and whatever it might be. Oh, thank you. And while they lead us to our inevitable end here, or we lead ourselves at this point. All right, look, before I let you guys go, is there anything specific you want to talk about other than what we've just done here? Let's see here. You know, no, we are past the point. This can't be prepared. This can't be fixed. Yes, you're right. It's like an exothermic reaction. Man, you're a smart guy. Bruce, you must be a scientist. I love that stuff. I love science. What a great thing, man. Endothermic reactions, exothermic. Remember all that stuff? How many of you remember that stuff? How many of you know what it is? I love when people throw terms around like fascist. Trump's a fascist. They don't even know what that means. Campbell's a Marxist. They don't even know what these things mean. Sounds bad. So yes, yeah, that's what it is. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't do it. It's an impossibility. All right, guys and girls, we're going to call it. We've done a lot here today. We've covered a lot here today. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your love, your support, your thumbs up. We're doing pretty well today. Let's fix that. If we can get a few more, make sure you please comment here. Get the video out there, share it. But most of all, those of you that are here and listening to this, wherever you may be on this planet right now, and we got people everywhere, okay? We want to hear from you. So comment. Let us know where you're at, wherever you may be in the world. Let's shed a little light on this whole situation here, because we're all in it. We're all in the same situation. You understand? I don't care where you are on this world. We're all there together. You understand? And we got to look out for each other. The division, the hatred, the boxes that they put people in, the red team, the blue team. No one can be for themselves. You got to be put in a specific place, because we are a society under control. We are a controlled society with no ability to think anymore, no accountability anywhere. So we're getting what we ask for in many, many ways. Imagine if throngs of people were to hold this selectee candidate accountable for what comes out of their mouth, or this one, or the media accountable. We could change it all. We have the power to do it, but we've been made mute. You understand? People hear things and they know when they're being lied to, but they keep their mouth shut for whatever reason. They're afraid to speak out. And that's a problem. Love all of you from the heart. I mean that with all I got. I will see all of you in the morning. I will read through the comments, especially on this particular video. I think it's been very important. And we're going to get to it in the morning, as we always do. Sean, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you so much. All right. So with that said, until we meet again, people, what are we going to do? What do I say to you all the time? And I don't just say it for fun. I say it because we really do need to unite. We got to come together, when we got to open our mouths. We're a select few, you and me. In my opinion, there is a natural selection going on here. Some people are going to have a way better chance of getting through what they're pushing on us right now. And I think that's you and me. I really, really do. The vast majority of people don't know what they're doing, why they're doing it. They just walk through time and space like zombies, reacting to stimuli like an insect. And that's what they think you are. They think you're an insect, but we're not insects. You understand? We are not insects. We are divine creations, period. All right? We will meet in the morning, people. So take care of yourselves and each other, all right? Until that time, I'm out of here.